I think you can start, Nikhil.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Monday special webinar series on TPO. This will be a fortnightly series happening every Monday focused on CENTA TPO, popularly known as TPO, CENTA Teaching Professionals Olympiad, popularly known as TPO. And today is the eighth webinar of this series on decoding CENTA International TPO for chemistry tracks. I'm Nikhil. I'm a subject in charge at CENTA, and along with me, I have Shruti, who will be my co-facilitator. Shruti, you can wave at them.
Hi, everyone.
So let's get started with our webinar. So, as many of you might know, the first edition of CENTA TPO was in 2015, and we are proud to be hosting the eighth edition of CENTA International TPO this year. CENTA as an organization aims at rewarding teachers and also like helping teachers to be recognized and giving them a lot of uh, opportunities to grow their career. However, when you look at career growth, it takes a longer period of time to happen. So that's when we came up with the idea of CENTA TPO to immediately reward competent teachers based on their performance on a particular exam. And that's how CENTA TPO was born. And over the years, we have had many teachers taking up the CENTA TPO, which is an annual competition where teachers can participate in a large scale forum and showcase their competencies and get rewarded immediately. And we have also been very fortunate over the years to have distinguished partners like Reliance Foundation, Education World, and others to provide rewards and recognitions for winning teachers. Now let's talk about So now let's talk about what we're going to cover in this webinar. So in this webinar, we'll be talking briefly about the overview of CENTA International TPO. And in this part, I'll also be talking about how CENTA International TPO has evolved over the years. And after that, I'll also be talking about the details of the prelims for CENTA TPO, including the format, mark scheme, competencies covered, etc. And the main focus of today's webinar will be unpacking some of the CENTA TPO chemistry track sample questions. So there will be a total of 5 questions that we're going to uncover, and this will be discussed in a lot of detail. And finally, we have a small part where we will also be discussing how to prepare for CENTA International TPO. Now, coming to how CENTA TPO has evolved, we had started CENTA TPO in 2015, and over the past few years, we have had like more than 20,000 participants. And we started off with 7 cities in 2015, and we have grown to 75 cities across 2 countries, which is India and UAE in 2019. And we are proud to say that in 2022, we're going fully online and international. So it's a great moment for CENTA and also for all the teachers who have taken CENTA TPO in the past few years. Now, talking about the subject tracks for CENTA TPO, in 2015, we had 9 subject tracks, and coming to 2022, now we have 34 subject tracks. And this also includes some of the newer tracks like primary school EVS, and we have also introduced some Hindi language tracks and co curricular tracks this year. So it's going to be a very exciting year for both teachers and for CENTA as an organization because we have introduced some of the new tracks this time. So hoping to see a lot of participation there. Now the focus of this webinar will be tracks in chemistry. So we're going to focus on 2 different tracks here. The first one, secondary school chemistry, and the second one, senior secondary school chemistry. So we'll be discussing about questions from both these tracks during the webinar. Now coming to the format of CENTA TPO and the CENTA TPO prelim. So from 2015 to 2020, we only had multiple choice questions as a part of our annual competition. But After 2020, we decided that we need to have both MCQs and a video component because we need to have a more holistic way to assess teachers. And that's why we've added this video component as a part of our annual competition. In a nutshell, CENTA TPO or CENTA International TPO is a fully online test, and you can take this test at the comfort of your home. It has two stages, the preliminary stage and the final stage, and it is fully international. And it is going to be a 2 hour test for prelims, which has 50 MCQs and two short videos that you'll have to record. Now, let's discuss a bit more in detail about the TPO prelim format. So, in the TPO prelims, we have 50 MCQ questions along with two videos, totaling up to a aggregate of 100 marks. And if we have to see the split of these 100 marks, we have multiple choice questions with 75 marks and two video questions with a total of 25 marks. Now, splitting these into like other different sections, in multiple choice questions, we have subject expertise questions, which are 20 in number and totals up to 30 marks. We have subject pedagogical content knowledge questions, which are 8 in number and which totals up to 10 marks. We have common pedagogy and professional competencies related questions. And professional competencies related questions will be dealing about questions related to work planning, communicating in a sensitive manner, etc. So that is about professional competencies. And finally, about the video assessment part, we have two videos. The first video is very subject specific. So teachers attempting CENTA TPO in either secondary or senior secondary chemistry tracks will have a very subject specific prompt given to you in video one. And in video two, you will have a very subject agnostic verbal prompt. And we will discuss more about these prompts soon. Now, to give you a glimpse of what the CENTA TPO is going to look like at the day of the exam, we have a screenshot attached here. So, we have a very candidate friendly platform in which you will be taking the test, and there are different sections you can hover over, and there is no restriction that you have to complete one section to go over to the other section. You can do it according to your convenience, and you'll have to click on the correct option in order to choose the correct option here. So this is how the CENTA TPO MCQ test is going to look like. Now coming to the video part, so the verbal communication part, which has two questions in it. In this, teachers will be attending a live Zoom session where they will be given video prompts by a concerned person from CENTA, and they will be given 5 minutes of time to record the video. Before that, there will be again like a 5 minutes preparation time. The same applies to both the videos that you have to record as a part of the test. So video one will be subject specific and video two will be subject agnostic. Now over to you, Shruti, to discuss about partners.
Thank you so much, Nikhil, for explaining in a very, very concise manner what TPO prelims will look like in a nutshell. So I would like to take the floor to actually talk a little bit about our esteemed partners in this journey of ours, and also what are some exciting prizes and benefits that we have in this year's edition of TPO. So, in terms of partners, our main partners for this year's TPO and almost always, like all our previous years, is Reliance Foundation. They are our primary partner along with Education World. We also have a lot of additional partners this year, like the University of Buckingham, University of California, Santa Cruz, Oxford University Press, InSpirit, Tag Hive, TIS, which is Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Key Education Foundation, and Teach for India Online, which is also known as FIRKI, among many, many other partners. I would also like to acknowledge our partners over the years, some of them including which are on the screen, like Bharti Foundation, Think Startup, Central Square Foundation, Varkey Foundation, Michael Susan Dell Foundation, Lenovo, Pearson, T4, The Hindu, HCL, and many, many more. We could not have run TPO year after year so successfully without the support from all the partners. And moving on to the prizes and benefits, right? All the partners bring extremely exciting prizes and benefits that makes the TPO truly, truly valuable for those taking it up. So we have the Reliance Foundation Teacher Awards, which are basically cash awards worth INR 20 lakhs. I do want to inform though that this award is restricted to the India-based participants, only the Reliance Foundation Teacher Awards. We also have uh, other opportunities and other prizes and benefits open to everyone. We have premium training opportunities from Oxford University Press, Buckingham University, UCSC, which is University of California, Santa Cruz, and CENTA itself. So Oxford has training programs affiliated with Oxford University. Buckingham has projects where winners will get the opportunity to be mentored on a short research project by professors from the university, along with a certificate of teaching excellence. UCSC is offering curated trainings and enrollment into their summer programs in California. So you actually get to go visit, you get to go to California and take up the program. And also, Inspirit has a very, very interesting annual software suite of theirs, which winners will be getting access to. So, as you can see, there's a bunch of different professional development and growth opportunities throughout, across the spectrum, which are being offered. So there's also TIS, which will be giving a lot of exciting opportunities for B.Ed college winners, which will be sponsored by TIS. So yeah, coming to education world, they will be providing media recognition for winning teachers and schools with a maximum number of winners. So what we hear a lot of times is teachers saying that our school recognizes us, our students' parents recognize us, our students themselves recognize us, but beyond that, we don't really see a lot of acknowledgement. And I think that's where education world comes in with their brilliant media recognition that they'll be giving. And like I said about TIS, there's an exclusive opportunity for B.Ed college winners as well. So another very, very unique value proposition of the TPO is that the scorecard that you receive is going to be fully confidential, and winners will also be receiving digital badges. So unless you have registered on behalf of your institution or from their side, your scorecard is fully confidential and personal, only accessible by you to you. It's up to you if you want to share it with anyone else. So that's a very, very unique thing about the TPO. So, in a nutshell, this is what CENTA TPO is about. It is about rewarding, recognizing, and celebrating the teaching profession. We are very, very thankful that a large number of partners, be it corporate, government, legends like Brian Lara or Harvard professor Fernando Reimers, or a lot of other entities have been supporting our initiative across throughout the years. And also, we are very, very thankful for teachers like all of you who have been participating year after year to test yourself, to, challenge your own self. So, yeah, very grateful for this support and grateful that we are able to bring something as unique and exciting as an Olympiad, Center Teaching Professionals Olympiad to all of you. On that note, I would hand it back to Nikhil, who will now take us over through some sample questions in chemistry. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thanks a lot, Shruti. So let's now have a look at all the sample questions that we have. So I would request all teachers to go to menti.com and enter the given passcode to access your first question. So once you have the first question, please go through it, read the question, read all the options, and try to answer the question. So this is our first question. I'm going to read out the first question. Which of the following is not an example of a natural indicator? Option A, green cabbage. Option B, hydrangea. Option C, turmeric paste. And option D, geranium. Would love to see a lot of teachers answering this question. Please go to menti.com and enter the given code. Okay, I can see a few responses. Two teachers have responded. Option D, geranium. Okay, three teachers have responded. Option 3, geranium. Would love to see a lot more responses. Okay, we have 5 responses so far. Would love to see at least 15 responses from teachers. Okay, one teacher has chosen option C, turmeric paste. Okay, so a lot of teachers have chosen option D, and a few teachers have chosen option A, B, and C, with majority of them choosing option D. We have 9 responses so far. Would love to see at least 15 responses from teachers. Okay. Option D, geranium, is still leading right now. Waiting for a few more responses from teachers. Okay, we have 11 responses. 4 more responses, and then we'll discuss the answer. Okay, we have 12 responses now. 2 more responses, and then we'll discuss the answer. Okay, great. 13 responses. Okay, great. We have 15 responses. Great. Okay, so now let's discuss the answer for the question. So a lot of teachers have chosen option D, but the correct answer is option A, green cabbage. So green cabbage is not a natural indicator, but red cabbage is a natural indicator. So that is a distinction. So coming to other wrong options, option B, it is an example of a natural indicator, and specifically about options B and D, hydrangea and geranium, they have flowers which are the color of the flowers which are dependent on the pH of the soil. So hence they are good natural indicators. And turmeric paste, definitely turmeric paste is going to be an acid base indicator, because in basic solution, turmeric solution or turmeric paste turns red in color. So it is definitely a natural indicator. So this is about question 1. Now let's move on to question 2. So we will do the same procedure. We will go to menti.com, enter the same passcode, and wait for the second question. So teachers, please go to menti.com and please enter the passcode. I hope all teachers can see the question in Menti. So the question is, an alkyl bromide reacts with an alkaline earth metal to form X. X reacts with water to produce a corresponding hydrocarbon. Which of the following can be concluded from the given information? Option A, water acts as a catalyst in the reaction. Option B, the alkaline earth metal used is magnesium. Option C, formation of X is an example of an SN2 reaction. Option D, an organometallic compound is formed when X reacts with water. So I want to see more teachers participating in this question. So please go to menti.com and record your answer. It's the same code that we're using for all the questions. Teachers kindly go to menti.com and use the same code. Okay, we have 3 responses so far. Great. A lot of teachers have answered option B. Great. Some teachers have answered option C. Would love to see at least 15 responses from teachers. We have 8 responses so far. Okay, we have 9 responses, and a lot of teachers have answered option B. Okay, we have 10 teachers now. Okay, we have 12 teachers who have responded to this particular question. Okay, we have 14. We'll wait for one more teacher to respond. Great. We have 15 teachers who have responded to this question. Now let's discuss the question with the answer. So the correct answer here is option B. The alkaline earth metal used is magnesium. So this is related to the formation of Grignard reagent. So when an alkyl bromide reacts with alkaline earth metal, it forms Grignard reagent RMgX. And when it reacts with water, it produces the corresponding hydrocarbon. Now, coming to the wrong options, so water is not acting as a catalyst, it is a reactant in this particular reaction. So that is about option A. When it comes to option C, the proposed mechanism for formation of X, which is the formation of uh, the Grignard reagent, the proposed mechanism goes to a radical mechanism. So there are radicals involved in this mechanism, so it cannot be a SN2 reaction. Now coming to option D, so when X reacts with water, a compound which is organometallic is not formed. So an organometallic compound is not formed when X reacts with water. X itself is an organometallic compound, which is Grignard reagent. So that is the insight behind option D. Now let's move on to the next question. Again, please go to menti.com and enter the same passcode. You will be able to see the third question on your screen. Would love to see more teachers participating for this question. And this question is going to be a pedagogical content knowledge question, and it is not going to be a subject expertise question. So, would love to see a lot more teachers participating here. So, this is the third question. Like I mentioned before, this is a pedagogical content knowledge question. So the question is, students were performing titration in a lab. Most of the students got the same value for endpoint at the end of titration. Based on this, one student said, our observations are accurate. So, which of the following remedial steps would best clarify this misconception? So options are A. Ask the student to repeat titration to verify if he or she is getting different endpoints. Option B. Ask the student to explain how they performed the titration. Option C. Ask the student to define the meaning of an accurate observation. Option D. Ask the student to tell the difference between accuracy and precision. So these are the 4 options. Would love to see a lot more teachers participating in this question. I will wait for at least 20 teachers to give an answer for this question. Okay, we have one response. We have four responses now. Would request all the teachers to respond in menti.com and not in the chat. We would want to see a lot more participation in Menti. Great to see a lot of responses from teachers, and a lot of teachers have chosen option D. I'll wait for more teachers to respond, and please do respond in Menti. I will also repeat the options for you. So, option A is ask the student to repeat titration to verify if he or she is getting different endpoints. Option B, ask the student to explain how they perform the titration. Option C, ask the student to define the meaning of an accurate observation. Option D, ask the student to tell the difference between accuracy and precision. So these are the four options. We have 23 responses so far. Amazing. So I'll wait for a few more teachers to respond in Menti because we are getting a lot of responses from teachers. Let's wait till 30 teachers have responded in Menti. Great. We have 26 responses. I will wait for four more responses and then discuss the correct answer. We have 27 responses so far. Amazing. Would request three more teachers to respond to the question so that we can discuss the answer. Okay, so in the interest of time, let's move on. We have 27 responses. Great. So the correct answer for this question is option D, as many teachers suggested. So the misconception here is that the student has not understood the difference between an accurate observation and a precise observation. So the difference between accuracy and precision is that accuracy is how close your value or the value that you got is close to the true value, that is accurate or accuracy. And when it comes to precision, it is about how close the values are that that you have recorded. So if you are getting close values, those are precise, those are not accurate. If you have an actual value and if you're saying it's matching with the actual value, then it's accurate. So that is the misconception that the student is having here. Now let's discuss what the wrong options are. So here, if you ask a student to repeat titration to get to check whether if he or she is getting a different endpoint, it will only reinforce the misconception. They will not understand what is the difference between accuracy and precision. Coming to option B, this is completely unrelated to the misconception. So, how they perform is not relevant to whether they understand the difference between accuracy and precision. And finally, option C. So here, this is a very close choice. I've seen some of the teachers selecting this option. This is a very close choice, but it is not the correct answer, because even if you ask a student to define the meaning of an accurate observation, they might tell the meaning of an accurate observation, but they might not be able to differentiate accuracy and precision even then. So it will not clarify the misconception in that sense. So that is the logic why option C is not the correct answer. So now let's move on to another pedagogical content knowledge in chemistry. So you will have to repeat the drill here. You will have to go to menti.com, enter the same passcode, and wait for your question. So your next question is, which of the following best describes an analogy to explain modern periodic law? Option A, periodic law is similar to how days repeat after each week. Option B, periodic law is similar to how notes in a piano repeat. Option C, periodic law is similar to how seasons repeat every year. And option D, periodic law is similar to how the earth rotates around the sun. So, this is the fourth question. You'll be able to see this question in menti.com if you enter the correct passcode. Okay, we have one response from a teacher. Would love to see a lot more participation from teachers in Menti. Okay, we have a majority of teachers answering option B for this question. We have 7 responses so far. Would love to see at least 20 teachers responding to this question. So I will repeat the options once again. So I will also repeat the question. So which of the following best describes an analogy to explain modern periodic law? So option A is, periodic law is similar to how days repeat after each week. Option B, periodic law is similar to how notes in a piano repeat. Option C, periodic law is similar to how seasons repeat every year. Option D, periodic law is similar to how the earth rotates around the sun. These are the options. We have 15 teachers who have responded in Menti. Great. Would love to see at least 20 teachers responding. Great. We have 17 responses so far. Would encourage all teachers to respond to this question. We have 19 responses. Once we have 20 responses, we'll close the poll and discuss the right answer. Great. We have 20 responses now, and with a majority of teachers picking option B. Now let's discuss the right answer. So the right answer here is option B. Periodic law is similar to how notes in a piano repeat because there is a certain pattern in which the notes repeat and the position remains constant, but the quality of the notes are remaining the same. So hence, periodic law can be associated with how notes in a piano can repeat, and this is the best analogy that we can use in a classroom. Now, coming to the wrong options. So, the first analogy doesn't work because days are repeated, but the routines associated with days might differ. So, a student might be confused as to how certain characteristics are not repeated with days. So, that might not be the best analogy to use while explaining modern periodic law in a classroom. Now, coming to option C, again, here with seasons, although seasons are repeated every year, there are major discrepancies in duration, etc. And this will also cause a lot of confusion in students, saying that students might say that seasons are repeated, but it's not in a certain manner, or there's no periodicity in some cases, it's irregular in some cases. So, to avoid that kind of a debate, it's best to not use this analogy in a classroom. Now, coming to option D, this simply represents the periodic movement of an object, and we cannot associate periodic change in properties or periodicity of properties based on this periodic movement alone. So, this is not the best analogy that you can use in a classroom to explain modern periodic law. So, I hope this is clear. Now, let's move on to the next and the final question that we are going to unpack for this webinar. Again, we're going to follow the same drill. Teachers will go to menti.com and enter the same passcode. This is again going to be a subject pedagogical content knowledge based question. So the question is, which of the following can be best taught using Le Chatelier's principle? Option A, inductive reasoning. Option B, deductive reasoning. Option C, extrapolation. And option D, cause and effect. Would encourage all teachers to go to menti.com and enter the passcode. Would love to see at least 20 teachers answering this question. So I will repeat the question again. Which of the following can be best taught using Le Chatelier's principle? Option A, inductive reasoning. Option B, deductive reasoning. Option C, extrapolation. And option D, cause and effect. Okay, we have a few responses coming in. A lot of teachers have chosen inductive reasoning. Okay, we have some teachers choosing cause and effect. Okay, now we have a majority of teachers choosing cause and effect. We have a strong competition going on between option A and option B. Okay, we have 13 responses so far. Would love to see at least 20 teachers answering this question. Again, a very strong competition between option A and D. Would encourage more teachers to go to Menti and answer the same question. Great, we have 22 responses. Amazing. We'll wait for a few more seconds for teachers to respond to this question. Great, we have 25 responses. So now let's discuss the answer for this question. So the correct answer is cause and effect, like many teachers had suggested. So this is best suited to teach Le Chatelier's principle. Sorry, cause and effect is best suited to be taught using Le Chatelier's principle because, according to Le Chatelier's principle, it is talking about how certain conditions can affect an equilibrium and how will the system react to that. So there is a cause and there is an effect based on that cause and how the system is counteracting that effect. So, based on that, Le Chatelier's principle is best suited to be used for cause and effect. So, that is the rationale behind option D. Now, coming to the other wrong options. So, inductive reasoning is something that you can teach where you are moving from a general principle to examples. So you're moving into a general principle from examples, and some teachers might argue that you can always talk about examples first in Le Chatelier's principle and then move into the general principle. But as a pedagogically effective way, it is always better to teach students what Le Chatelier's principle is and then move into the specifics of it. And also, it is best suited to teach cause and effect in a classroom. Now, moving to option B, deductive reasoning is to moving into, uh, sorry, there is a small typo in the insights. So, so inductive reasoning, you're starting from examples and then moving to general principle. And in deductive reasoning, you're starting from the general principle and then moving into examples. There is a slight typo in the slide. Uh, Excuse us for that. So, a deductive reasoning cannot be taught here because we are not starting from general principle and then moving into examples directly without actually talking about what actually is happening to the equilibrium in a reaction. Now, coming to option C, so here we're not extrapolating any kind of information. So in this scenario, we're not saying, okay, based on this, what will happen next? That is not the scenario that we're exploring when we're teaching Le Chatelier's principle in a classroom. So therefore, extrapolation is not the correct answer. So with this, we have unpacked all these sample questions for the secondary and senior secondary tracks for chemistry in CENTA International TPO. We will now move on to the next part, which is discussing the video assessment related questions. So, like I mentioned before, there are two components to it, video one and video two. So, video one is going to be very subject specific. So, during the video one recording, we're going to give you a prompt very similar to this. So, you'll have to choose any one of the following topics for introduction in your classroom. So you'll be given three topics. You can choose any one of those and teach as if you are in a classroom. So this is what the video one prompt is going to look like if you are appearing for the prelims for CENTA TPO. Now coming to video two, it is going to be subject agnostic, which means that it is not related to the subject. It is going to be related to a very general topic. So again, you will have three choices, and you can choose any one of those, and you have to record a short speech of what that topic means to you or what your views are on that or on that topic. So, for example, the first topic given here is, does use of technology affect student learning? So you can express your views for this topic based on the given time period. So the time limit that we impose for candidates is 5 minutes. So you will have 5 minutes to record your video for this. And obviously, you'll have a preparation time before you start recording your video. So this is what the video assessment part is going to look like for CENTA TPO prelims. Now let's move on to the very important part where the next natural question is how to prepare for CENTA International TPO. We have so far discussed how the sample questions are and what kind of questions you can expect in CENTA International TPO, but how can you better prepare for CENTA International TPO? So we have some very exciting resources for this, which you will find in the CENTA TPO resources page. You can go to this link, and it's a one-stop shop for everything you need for you need to prepare for CENTA International TPO. So you will have sample questions, live webinars, recorded webinars in it, and you'll also have certain guides to prepare for CENTA International TPO. And we have something called the Curious Corner, which will have some bite-sized information which you can read quickly to prepare for CENTA International TPO. And as you can see on the screen, this is what the CENTA TPO resources page would look like. You have a lot of sample questions here for various different tracks, not just chemistry. And you will also find the syllabus documents for different subjects here. If you want to understand what are the things that we test in our subject expertise section of the test. And like I mentioned before, the Curious Corner will have some bite sized resources that will be helpful for you to prepare for CENTA TPO. And for the focus preparation, we have some very specialized courses here. And we have a test demo video here if you want to see how the test is going to look like. And at the end, we have some testimonials from teachers who have taken CENTA TPO in the past. So this will also help you to get inspired to take CENTA TPO this year. Now, let's discuss how to register for CENTA International TPO. So for this, we have a special registration page. You'll have to go to this particular page, and then you just have to register your details here by clicking on register now. And you have to fill in the registration form, submit and pay the amount. The amount will be mentioned there. So it will be different for candidates who are taking it from India and for foreign candidates. So you will have the details in the registration page itself. So this kind of sums up what the CENTA TPO is going to look like. So let's open the floor for questions. Teachers, please ask questions to us if you have any. We would love to answer a lot of questions from you. And there is a coupon code flash December 19th. And if you apply this coupon code, you'll be getting a 10% discount. So hurry up, please register for CENTA TPO today itself. So we would love to answer some of the questions from teachers. Shruti, can we answer a few questions now?
Yeah, I think we can, Nikhil.
Great.
Okay, I can see some people asking for the feedback code. Uh, I think the feedback form is there. There is no code for the feedback form, so you can just select the feedback form and fill it. There's no code. Any other questions related to the CENTA TPO? We will stay for 5 more minutes and see if any of you have any questions. We'll take that up now. Otherwise, we'll close in the next 5 minutes. Thank you so much for attending today's webinar. Thank you, Nikhil, and thank you to everyone for being so participative. Waiting for your questions. There's no code for the feedback form. So, Tulika ma'am, there is no code. If you click on that, you should directly be able to fill the form. There's no code for the feedback form.
Once again, thanks to all the teachers who attended the webinar.
Okay, I see that there aren't a lot of questions, and we have shared the feedback form, and also you have been shared the TPO resources page and the. Okay, I see that Vimala ma'am has a question. Is the final selection exam online like the prelims? Yes, ma'am. That will also be online, and you'll be invited. You'll get an email on your registered email ID, and you'll be invited to the finals. It is going to be online. So someone called Knowledge Pearls is asking, video evaluation is based on content or presentation of video or editing, etc. No, sir. By video evaluation, you don't have to prepare a video. You have to be on video. So it's basically like a Zoom meeting wherein you just join the link and we will ask you question. You have to answer. So it's like an oral examination. You don't have to prepare any. You don't have to prepare any video. Rabita ma'am is asking. Sorry, Babita ma'am, I thought you have a question. No, you don't. Any more questions? Very good questions, Vimala ma'am and Knowledge Pearls, whoever that is. Thank you so much. So, Knowledge Pearls, again, you have mentioned that you have applied for chemistry TPO, but you weren't able to give on that day. What shall I do to reschedule the date? Just please write to us at team@centa.org, and we will definitely forward it to the relevant team and do the needful. So, Dr. Priyanka Sharma, you mentioned kindly make courses free. So, of course, ma'am, we do have a lot of free resources and courses. If you go to the TPO resource page, which is basically this page, you will find a lot of free material there. So please go check it out. And even on the My Center page, we do have a lot of hundreds of free resources. But of course, we also have some courses which are paid. Resources are free. Making courses free is not an option right now to make all the courses free, but some of them definitely. The resources and small mini courses are available free of cost.
Shruti, can we share the slide again? One of the teachers have asked us to share the first slide. We have the number of questions mentioned.
Yeah, I think we can do that. But this information will also be available on the TPO resources page. But just for everybody's convenience, let me just quickly present. So I hope my screen is visible. So this is what the format will look like. So you have 50 MCQs, 2 videos, and totally of 100 marks. The prelims is divided into multiple choice questions and video assessment. And this is the further split of that. You have subject expertise, subject pedagogical content knowledge, which Nikhil covered for chemistry specifically in today's webinar. We also have 2 more sections called the common pedagogy and the professional competencies, which are common across tracks. So we have done a webinar already. The first webinar of this series had a lot of common questions. So please go find it on our YouTube channel and you can look at what the common questions look like and the professional competency questions. And the video assessment, of course, you will have 2 videos. You don't have to create a video, you just have to appear and do like an oral video examination with the examiner from CENTA who will be asking you questions. You will get 5 minutes to prepare and then 5 minutes to present your answer. Just like how we have just a minute in schools, similar to that. So whoever wants to can take a snapshot of this, or you can of course go back and watch the same webinar and you can find this there. And we also have shots in the TPO resource page where we have covered each of this in detail. So you can go back and refer to that. Great. Okay, I see that that's about it for the questions, and we have 3 more minutes. So maybe we'll wait for a minute or two and then we can close today's webinar. Okay, thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. Nikhil, you want to say some last words and then we can close today's webinar.
So thank you to all the teachers who have joined the webinar, and thank you for asking a lot of questions that were relevant to the CENTA International TPO as well. So I hope all the teachers who have joined today's webinar will be taking up the TPO soon. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.